Sorry, the guy. Sir.
Good deal.
I got the table with the display. That's exactly.
June and July were really busy. We were going every day. And now all my students are finishing up, so it's starting to get a little slow. Yeah, nice to get a little break.
Hi, good evening. I hate to interrupt all of the great conversations, but welcome to the University of North Dakota's Air Force Junior ROTC Flight Academy graduation. For those of you that don't know, my name is Beth Bierke, and I've had the privilege of serving as the point person on this academy for the last 5 years. So very excited to be graduating. This is our 4th class. COVID kind of took a little hiatus of the program, but very excited to be graduating our 4th class through the Flight Academy. First off, let me start by recognizing why we are here this evening. Of course, that is to celebrate all of the successes of our amazing cadets, 12 cadets throughout the room have had this summer within the flight training program. I know many of them probably did not know where North Dakota was prior to June, and they certainly did not know where Grand Forks, North Dakota was, or expect to spend their summer with us here, learning how to fly and working extremely hard. So we are so proud of all of our cadets tonight. Let's give them a round of applause real quick. Also like to recognize we have our university president, President Andy Armacost, with us this evening, along with Mr. Scotty Lewis, who's the deputy, or actually acting director of the Air Force Junior ROTC program. You'll have the opportunity to hear from both of them after dinner. We also have Dean Bob Kraus, the Dean of the Odegaard School, and Lieutenant Colonel Aaron McCurdy, who is our UND NDSU Detachment 610 commander, who just started this week. So welcome to UND as well. Hopefully. I'd also like to acknowledge our UND team that has been overseeing the Flight Academy over the summer. We have our student mentors in the back, James Alwyn, who is also a ROTC cadet here on our campus, and Jillian Fenner, who is actually a graduate of the Flight Academy from last summer. Again, we couldn't run the program without these student mentors. We also have Mr. Aaron Feddick. He has been our assistant chief flight instructor and has been overseeing all the flight training aspects out at the airport. Mr. Luca Morelli, who is our academic ground school instructor, and hopefully everybody's final went well like 2 hours ago. All right, Luca, and attest to that. We also have Mr. Shane Mendez, who began his new career at UND just 2 weeks prior to the cadets' arrival. And again, great to have him as a member of a team, and I guarantee before we are out, cadets, he will be asking you what went well, what didn't go well, and how can we help you improve the weeks. So I also want to acknowledge our cadets' families, both here in the room as well as hopefully joining us online through our live stream. Again, thank you for trusting us with your cadets, your sons and daughters this summer. I can't imagine what went through your mind as well when you learned that they would be spending 8-9 weeks at the University of North Dakota learning how to fly. And last but certainly not least, we want to recognize our cadre of dedicated flight instructors. Liren, William, Hannah, Ryan, Colin, John, Christopher, Stephen, Ian, Logan, Ryan, and Evan. Big round of applause for the flight instructors. Again, you all definitely accomplished what I think is almost impossible, and that is teaching a young cadet how to fly an aircraft safely and proficiently in just 2 months. That is truly amazing, and really without you leading and guiding as flight instructors, we would not be celebrating these successes this evening. So thank you. Now, please enjoy your dinner and conversation, and we'll start the program following the meal. So thank you. Welcome.
So here's the big news.
How you doing? It's good to see you.
How are you? What's happening? Good to see you. Congratulations. July 12th. Is that your wedding day? Third, okay. Yeah. Where are you stationed? So, what's your affiliation? No, sir.
If you guys remember, he came in, met with us, gave us some motivational kind of thoughts. Mr. Lewis, I think you're going to find a different cadre of cadets in front of you today, just 8-9 weeks later. So again, Mr. Lewis is the Deputy Director of the Air Force Junior ROTC at headquarters. So Mr. Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. Hey, I'm Scotty Lewis. I'm the Deputy Director for Air Force Junior ROTC. I've been with Junior ROTC about 11 years. I love my job because it's about you guys. We have about loosely 100,000 cadets around the world at about 870 locations in Europe and Pacific, all over our country, most of the territories. So a huge program in that regard. But again, it's about kids, it's about youth, it's about setting people up for success with programs just like the Flight Academy. Like Beth mentioned, about 5 years ago, we started the Flight Academy, and it literally was a phone call from the Chief of Staff. Reached down and he said, hey, I need a way to return the luster, his exact words. And what he meant by that is, hey, kids aren't excited about aviation anymore. It's not the cool thing, it's not the sexy thing. And he was like, how do we want to get after that? And at the same time, our Air Force, really, aviation in general, has a huge issue with diversity. There just aren't that many minorities, or just aren't that many females in aviation. So he said, Scotty, help us get after diversity. He was aware in Air Force Junior ROTC today we're about 60% minority, and we're right at 43% female. So a significant demographic when you start talking about diversity, as well as the fact that about half of our programs are in economically challenged areas, Title I schools, and then of course we're geographically pretty spread out. So I think we cover the spectrum when you start talking about diversity. And again, the chief recognized that. So we started taking a look at what would it take to get after both of those things. We did a ton of research, looked at a bunch of FAA statistics. We looked at a bunch of studies that were done by RAND. And statistically, folks that have somewhere between about 40 and 130 to 35 hours, there is a direct correlation with success going through an aviation program. Less than 40 hours, it's a bit of a steep curve to get to 40. At 135, it kind of levels out a little bit, so that was kind of the window. And for us, when we started looking statistically at the private pilot certificate, on average, it's about 55 hours. That seemed to hit the heart of that number. And our goal was to be able to set you all and anyone that came through the Flight Academy up for success. In particular, if they chose to pursue aviation in the military, our goal was hopefully that anyone that comes through a program like this has virtually 100% chance of making it through a program like pilot training. And I think over the course of 5 years, we've been pretty darn successful. Our graduation rate is around 80%. If you look at FAA statistics, only 20% of the people that solo ever complete their private pilot certificate. We've been able to flip that. We're at the 80% completing their private pilot certificate, so pretty significant change, if you will. And the demographic that we've been able to generate as well has been nothing short of remarkable. So we're really proud of where we've come. I will tell you, when Dr. Berkey and I first talked, she was absolutely skeptical of the Flight Academy. She was like, Scotty, how many you sent? And I said 10. She goes, well, maybe one will finish. She goes, we take a semester. It takes a whole semester to earn your private pilot certificate. It's not going to happen. I said, well, give us a chance. And she did. Thank the good Lord. And that first summer, we graduated 9 out of 10. And I would tell you, after that first summer, she became one of our biggest advocates. Because I've told as many people as I can, the types of youth that are in this room, they're hungry. They show up prepared. They're here because they want to be here. And those are those soft, kind of unquantifiable qualities that you're looking for, and they are the difference maker, and I think that exists in this room right here. For all the moms and dads out there, and brothers and sisters and relatives and everybody that's online, it's really easy to miss the significance of what these young people have done. In our country today, of about 330 to 350 million people, we're talking about a little teeny tiny fraction of our society has done what they have done. You should be incredibly proud. I will tell you, Dr. Berkey mentioned it already. For the parents out there, thank you for being willing to allow your sons and daughters to go to a location like the University of North Dakota, minors, most of you, and being willing to trust them to a program like this. And I will tell you, no one does it better than the University of North Dakota. The facilities here, the program that they have in place is nationally recognized. I've been blessed because I've had the opportunity to come here several times and witness it for myself. One of my personal goals is to bring as many members of the Air Force as I can here to see what is happening here, to turn them into believers like I am. I could not be more proud of our relationship, and I would tell you I could not be more proud of the young people in this room. Congratulations. Flying in here yesterday, the captain said, hey, strap down. It's going to be kind of rough when we're coming in. And guess what? It was a little bit bouncy. And guess what? Y'all got to deal with that all summer long. When you got to deal with the winds that you have here, guess what? It makes you a better pilot. When you got to deal with some of the crazy weather here, some point in your life, if you continue flying, you're going to appreciate what you learned while you were here and some of the difficulties that were in hand. Again, congratulations to each and every one of you. To the team, I'm looking at the instructor pilots, Dr. Birking, and especially the chaperones that have been with these group the entire time. Thank you on behalf of the Air Force. And I will for sure tell you on behalf of all the families out there that, again, shared their young people with us. So I would like to turn the stage over to the president of the university, a former Air Force colleague. We missed each other at the Air Force Academy, but the former dean of the Air Force Academy, and someone I'm really proud to know. And I would tell you, there's no doubt in my mind that the University of North Dakota is blessed to have someone like him. So.
Because I started it. Yeah, great. Scotty, it means so much that you're here, and the support that you provide to ROTC and to junior ROTC is unmatched. And you've provided a steady hand on so many initiatives, including the Flight Academy. So thanks for your vision and your leadership. We really appreciate it. And to those who I haven't met, I'm Andy Armacost, president of the university. And we're just delighted to all the junior ROTC cadets that you chose to come here this summer. It might be your first experience on a college campus. True? Raise your hand if it is. Okay, half of you. Good. And I hope you like what you saw. I've been in this position for 2 years, and we have an amazing campus with amazing people on it. And you undoubtedly had a chance to interact with these amazing people, particularly in our aviation program. And so I should just let you know that I have flown myself. I have logged 1.25 hours in I forget what the airplane was, the T-53 or the T something back at the Air Force Academy. T4, I don't know, I don't think it was the T-41. It's the T-53. T-53, it's the new one. 1.25 hours. So just think about it. I think in your first afternoon of flying, you far surpassed my flying experience. And the reason is when I was your age, I knew this from a very young age, but I really wanted to fly in the Air Force. But I couldn't because I have no depth perception. I took the Air Force qualifying medical exam and the depth perception test 18 times, and I am 0 for 18. I'm happy I survived my 1.25 hours while flying. I'm here today. One of the most joyful things of being in the air was, at least for me, for those 1.25 hours, was that every sense in my body was firing. I was listening to the engine. I was feeling the vibrations of the plane. Your eyes are darting around. You're looking at the instrumentation. You're looking at the horizon. Everything about flying was just so magical. And I know that you experienced that on your stay here at UND. And that passion hopefully propels you in whatever you choose to do in life, whether it's service in the military and flying, whether it's, and I think most of you are, I think a number of you are considering coming into the Air Force or the Navy or the Army, but hopefully the Air Force. Let me put my plug in for my two favorite schools coming here to UND for our aviation program, or of course the Air Force Academy to go there as well. And I know you put your heart and soul into everything. You demonstrated that during this program. And I know all of the family members who are here are certainly proud of your young ones, of these pilots who have gone up and done some amazing things. I think we had pretty good weather, a little windy, but you did remarkable things. So congratulations to each and every one of you. And my challenge to you, when you leave UND, when you leave this program, is to make sure that you sustain the connections that you made while you were here. Whether it was with your instructor pilots, your faculty members, but most importantly with one another, because you're now a cohort. You're all roughly the same age. You're going to be entering life, entering the military or whatever you do, kind of at the same place. And so make sure that you sustain the connections that you made here, because you never know when they're going to show up again in life. And I have a couple connections here. Bob Krause and I were stationed at the Air Force Academy together. So now President and Dean working together once again. And Derek Dye, Lieutenant Dye. I met him back in 2017 when he was a fourth class cadet at the Air Force Academy. And I walked in, and I thought it was just like yesterday. And how about a round of applause for Lieutenant Dye, because on July 3rd, he got married. So congratulations, Lieutenant Dye. So take advantage of the connections and the friendships that you've made during this period. Make sure you sustain those over your careers. And in 30 years, who knows who you're going to run into, whether it's flying commercially, flying in the military, or just in life, walking through a mall somewhere. So, so congratulations to each of you. I'm honored to bestow upon you your certificates. I also have a gift as well for each of you. It's a small gift. My military background. You've heard of challenge coins? So we have a presidential challenge coin, and the challenge coin has presented by the president of the university, that's me, and then on the back side is a symbol that I don't know if you saw on the campus. It's the eternal flame, which is a globe with a flame that is usually on fire, except for during high winds, and it symbolizes the passing of knowledge from person to person. And it actually is represented in our alma mater. The alma mater is the song for graduates of the university. The alma mater talks about passing the lit torch from hand to hand. So that's this eternal flame. And then across the top it says, "We raise our grateful song," which is another line from the alma mater. And it's our way of saying thank you to each of you for joining us here at UND, and to congratulate you for the achievement that you've made during this period. So well done, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause.
All right, so before we get started with the presentation of the graduates, I do want to share with you a slideshow that Savannah was able to put together for us. It wasn't all just flight time and academics and study. Now, that was probably 90% of the time, throwing in some sleeping, but the cadets also seem to have a good time outside of that as well. So apologize, I should have had this up and running. And there isn't music, but if you want to sing along or narrate, Savannah, you sure can. We did for Maverick, week 1. Sorry, Air Force folks, but it's in our altitude chambers and physiology. We've got Lake Itasca State Park over in Minnesota, the headwaters of the Mississippi. That's a long story. Yeah. in their room. Had to call UPD. That's all good. Everyone came out safely. A lot of birthdays we celebrated this summer. Quite a few birthdays. They got to join the Grand Forks Air Force Base for Friends and Family part of the air show. The main air show, the Thunderbirds, got canceled, but they got to see him the Friday before practicing. I don't want to know which ones came from. So again, thank you, Savannah. All right, so I would like to invite Mr. Lewis, President Armacost, and Dean Krause up, and Mr. Mendez, you want to take? So we're going to be recognizing the cadets. Before we do that, we will share just briefly some of the statistics and how we got here. So these photos I like to show because it says week 1, day 1, when Mr. Fettig taught us, the first briefing in 102 together, to just Tuesday of this week, we got to do a photo shoot in our flight suits. And again, it's amazing to see how much growth, how much knowledge, how much skill was really attained in just these short 2 months in the program. So the first picture up to the top left, you guys probably didn't even know what an aileron was. You definitely didn't know how to fly or how to land or how to do it cross country. And now here we are 2 months later, graduating from the Flight Academy. And real quick, I'm a data person, so I love data. So we had 12 cadets. 9 weeks in the program. We're just finishing up our 9th week. 72 hours of grueling ground school with Luca, I'm sure, right? 96 exams that you all took. Hopefully passed the one today, right? 647.7 flight hours. And this was actually this morning before some of you got down from your check rides, so that might be a little just north of 650 hours. Flight instructors, you guys provided 964.8 hours of instruction. That includes both ground instruction, flight instruction, with the cadets one-on-one. And of course, all 12 cadets successfully soloed in the program. So again, congratulations. We're going to recognize that success. Jada is going to be leading us off. She knows that. We're going to follow what she does. So Jada, no pressure. But we're going to ask cadets, once your name is called and we're kind of reading through your accolades, you can kind of come down this way and then across the front. You'll be getting your certificate from President Armacost, a new name badge from Mr. Lewis, and then Dean Krause is going to be doing 2 challenge coins. Do you want to talk a little bit about our challenge coin?
So I will give you a UND Aerospace challenge coin to complement the President's coin. And so what he didn't say about the challenge coin was a little bit of the tradition of the challenge coins. And so once you receive one of these challenge coins, you are to forever have it on your person. A challenge coin of some kind. And so if you are ever in the group of company of the rest of this group, you meet them again, and you choose to, you can pull out that challenge coin and challenge the other person. And if they do not have it, then they are to buy the beverage of your choice. For those who are under 21, we do not.
Soda.
Yes.
And then cadets, Mr. Mendez also has our gift for you as well. It's kind of a fun gift about the now to the future. So, and I don't think he decorated those. No, so, all right, so without further ado, Cadet Jada Davis. Jada successfully completed her academic ground school. She soloed, she did her cross-country solo, and got her private pilot certification. In fact, Jada, I think, was a new record for us, getting her certification, her check ride, 17 and about 2 days. So there is a minimum for the FAA, 17 years old, and Jada did that right after her 17th birthday. And of course, a graduate of the Flight Academy. Congratulations, Jada.
Do you want a picture for her family?
Oh, I didn't think about
Did you get a picture?
Okay. Jillian, do you have your phone with you? Do you want to take pictures of the cadets? Thank you. One thing we didn't think of. Yeah. Thanks, Jillian. if you hand it back.
Oh, Beth, can you go back?
Oh, sorry, yep, good call. There we go. Perfect, all right, thank you.
Okay, her name was up there.
Yeah, it was, we changed it, yeah. All right, next up, we got Cadet Donald Will Hinkle. Will academically achieved the ground school. He soloed, he did his solo cross country, and his private pilot certification, and graduating from the Flight Academy. Congratulations, Will.
I don't think we're gonna scoot forward enough.
Yeah. How do I black out the screen? Anybody?
B.
B?
B. B for black. Did you learn something today?
I did, thank you. All right, look at that, thank you. All right, next one, I'm on it. All right, next up is Cadet Brianna Lemons. Brianna successfully completed her academic ground school. She soloed, she did her solo cross country, and got her private pilot certification, and is graduating from the Flight Academy. Congratulations, Brianna. Next up, Cadet Will Lockhart. Will successfully completed academic ground school. He soloed, did his solo cross country, and completed his private pilot certification, and is graduating from the Air Force Junior ROTC Flight Academy.
I used to be that same.
Congratulations. Next up, we have Cadet Nolan Mikolasik. Nolan actually came to us from the University of Alabama as an ROTC cadet, but he successfully completed his ground schools. He soloed his solo cross country and is graduating from the Flight Academy. Oops, hang on. Next up, we have Cadet Janelle Mora. Janelle is successfully completing his private pilot ground school. He soloed the aircraft and is graduating from the Flight Academy. Congratulations, Janelle. Congratulations. Next up, we have Cadet Tyler Ouellette. Tyler is successfully completed his academic ground school. He soloed, did his solo cross country, and completed his private pilot certification, graduating from the Flight Academy. Congratulations, Tyler. Cadet Angelo Rivera. Oh, you got to come all the way around, Angelo. Angelo successfully completed his academic ground school. He soloed, did his solo cross country, got his private pilot certification just this morning, and is graduating from the Flight Academy. Congratulations, Angelo.
Angelo comes from an Air Force family, too.
Cadet Vanessa Salas-Martinez is successfully graduated from the private pilot ground school. She soloed the aircraft and is graduating from the Flight Academy. Congratulations, Vanessa. Congratulations. Next up, we have Cadet Ethan Smith. Ethan successfully completed the academic ground school. He did his solo cross country, and earned his private pilot certification and is graduating from the Flight Academy. Congratulations, Ethan. Hi, Cadet Andrew Van Wagner. Andrew successfully completed his private pilot ground school. He soloed our aircraft, and he is graduating from the Flight Academy. Congratulations, Andrew. And last but not least, Cadet Savannah Whiting. Savannah successfully completed her academic ground school. She did her solo cross country, and is graduating from the Flight Academy program. Congratulations, Savannah.
We'll also do our check ride tomorrow, so
Oh, good.
if I would after that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's do another round of applause for all of the hard work from the cadets and their flight instructors. Congratulations. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Dean Bob Kraus. New this year is an award that we'll be handing out, as well as closing remarks. So Dean Kraus.
All right, so we're going to give out an ACE award for participation in the Junior ROTC Academy. So when you graduate from an Air Force training course, there in almost all cases is a distinguished graduate from the course. And so throughout history, these distinguished graduate, this is something that is very important on your resume and on your career. And it's usually the top 10% of the course. And so we have chosen one person to receive this year's ACE award, and we'd like that person to come forward. They'll get a certificate that says that, and this goes to Ethan Smith. He gets a special coin on behalf of Scotty Lewis, as well as the certificate. So congratulations to Ethan. So it's an honor to stand in front of you today, because it's not about President Armacost or myself or Scotty or Dr. Berkey to be up here, because it is about you. This is the start of an incredible career for all of you. Whether you go into the military or not, this was that taste, this was that spark, this was that hope that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And so we hope that we wish you all the best of luck, and we hope that we stay in touch with you, and we hope that you stay in touch with each other. I mentioned to someone earlier today that it's amazing that when Scotty talked about there's 350 million people in the country, right? And we had, you know, this small group of junior ROTC and Det 1 cadets that were here. You will be amazed at how many times you will run into each other in random places. Throughout my Air Force career, I was active duty for 28 years. I ran into someone in Cairo, Egypt, by the pyramids one time. Randomly, just somebody I knew just happened to be there. This past week, I was at Oshkosh at the EAA Air Venture Air Show, and just walking around and just bumping into classmates of mine from the Air Force Academy, or people that I had served with, or people that I had some connection to while I was in the Air Force. And so it is a community. And so even with 330,000 people in the Air Force, it is still a small community. And so we hope that you got the taste of that being here at the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks. This is a small community. Yes, it's a big school, it's a big program, but it's about connections. It's about getting to know each other. It's about helping each other, being a wingman to each other, and then succeeding in everything that you put your mind to. So I want to congratulate all of you again. I understand there are still a few check rides left, so good luck on those remaining check rides. It looks like the weather forecast is going to be good.
little better this year than last. We had a little bit of smoke last year, if you can talk to any of those cadets that were here. So again, I want to say thank you. Thank you to President Armacost. Thank you to Scotty. Thank you to Beth and Shane for putting this all together. And so we hope you have a wonderful rest of your time in Grand Forks. If you're done, enjoy the weekend before you depart.
He does want to meet with you guys briefly. We'll go in the conference room next door. I know family members, you're probably anxious to spend more time. It won't be that long, but again, great message from the Air Force Academy to learn more about those opportunities. Again, thank you for coming. So cadets, eventually, I don't want to rush you, but eventually we'll head next door just for a little bit.
3 short hours a week.
You got good swag though. You said he became a good swag, right? Good pen. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry to call you out today.